Hi guys, it's Jeanette with Backroom Creations. Come on in. Let's get our comments pulled up so we can chat and craft. Tonight we are going to make some lollipops. I used to make them when I made wreaths all the time, and I thought I'd make some more for the upcoming holiday season. Just trying to get my, oh, there we go. Forgot to mute it. Hi Tracy. How are you? Alright, so tonight we're going to make some lollipops out of some dowel rods. And these are the discs that you can get from Dollar Tree. Comes 2 in a pack for $1.25. Hey Carol, how are you? So we need those for the lollipop part. This for the stick. We've got some straws to cover our sticks, and we've got some ribbon to make little bows. And then we have some big yarn. So usually I can get white and black at Hobby Lobby, but really bright colors like this one I get from Becozi. They have an Etsy and they have a website, so it's B as in boy, E-C-O-Z-I, Becozi, and they have a lot of amazing colors of yarn. So that is what we're going to work on tonight. They have really vibrant colors, and they have pastels, they have everything. So I keep my yarn on cardboard in 2-gallon bags. I can hang it if I want to. Hi Shauna, how are you? And I got the big guns out tonight. I have not used this glue gun for months, maybe even a year. So got a little bit of white left over, so we'll start with that. I got hot pink down here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that, but it's there if we need it. Hi Crystal. Hi Shauna. So here's our base, and we'll get to the stick part here in a minute. You can also like paint your stick, swirl some ribbon around it. Hi Brenda. How are you? Okay, my glue gun's hot. I have many scars from this thing, but tonight we need a lot of glue. I don't have any of the diamond rope that some people use, but I do have black and white twisted string. Have you been watching On and Off today? Awesome, Sharon, welcome. So I think I want to do, I'm going to do a candy corn theme. I'm trying to decide if I want 3 colors or just 2. Let's do one with 2 and see what that looks like. Hi Joan, how are you? I love my 2 or 2.5 gallons, I can't remember. I get Hefty brand at Walmart. What part of PA are you in? I'm in Ohio. Just go to Pinterest and hi, how are you, Robin? Look at options and ideas. Listen, girlfriend, I get messy too. They are dangerous. Hi, Cheryl. So I'm going to sit down for this one. So we'll start with yellow and orange. I have not used that glue gun for many, many months because I have a lot of scars from it. There we go. Not sure how much we'll need, so we'll just unwrap some. I keep mine on cardboard just because the skeins. No, I do that myself. It actually comes in just like a regular skein. It comes like that. You're funny, Carol. But yeah, in my craft room reveal, I showed how I hang the bags. I have a pegboard back here, and I got a closet that I put little binder hooks on here, and I can hang it, and it alleviates a lot of shelving need. So I don't think I need the black right now. So we're going to use bright orange and yellow. I'm a compulsive organizer. I get messy, and then I gotta organize everything, or I'll change my mind how I'm gonna organize it. Like right now I'm moving all my homespun fabric. I want it behind me so I can grab it if I need it. I also keep my fabric on, some of my fabric on cardboard. I'll show you that real quick. So if it's quite a bit, I just fold it. I actually cut cardboard boxes, and then I fold it in thirds. I used to put straight pins in it, but now I just slap a rubber band around it. It's good. Oop. Come on, go away. Alright, so, let me find my ends. Cut off my tape. It frays a little bit, so I always usually put tape on the end. Okay. It was warm today. I have window air conditioners, so I tend to just, whatever room I'm in, leave that one on, but I left a couple on today. Awesome. Hi, Rhonda. So we start in the middle. So I've done this with 2 or 3 different colors. We're just going to use 2 today, and then we're going to put some of this in between. I've made these for years. I just haven't made any for quite a while. Hey, Lisa. So now this is really hot glue, and it will melt your styrofoam. Oh, I got my finger protectors out for this one, because like I said, I have lots of scars from that glue gun. I thought about getting the smaller one, but it's probably just as hot. So basically, ouch. You're going to start in the middle, and then you're just going to go around and around and around, and we'll go over the side, and then we'll do the back. You guys see okay? You don't need to see my gnomes. I got a whole big shelf of gnomes. And your yarn sometimes will get messed up, but it's just the nature of the beast. I've never had measured this to see how much yarn you need per lollipop, but I might do that. I have a notebook that I keep. Hi, Tom Hutton. Long time no see. I keep a notebook of how much stuff I would need to make, you know, whatever project, and it kind of helps me when I'm buying stuff, or how much I gotta get out. I always get out more materials than I need. So you don't have to put glue on every single inch, but you're gonna want quite a bit in the beginning, just because you're gonna do lots of turns. You kind of hold it, you want it, you know, together to where you're not gonna see your disc behind it. See how it'll pull up if you don't have parts of it. Oh, thank you, Tracy. I love that chair that you got. I used to have a couple wingback chairs, but I think my ex got them. But I love it, love it, love it. We're doing bright and bold tonight. Listen, if you're new to me, oh, you're never just a wreath maker, Carol. I started out making wreaths, you know, but I like all crafts. And that's what I was just going to say. If you're new to me, I do a lot of different crafts. I don't do it all, but I do a lot of different crafts. I'm rather eclectic in my style. I like everything from whimsical to, hi Denise, to farmhouse, to primitive, a little bit of folk art, not much. I'm not real big on the folk art. But I like to do a lot of different things. And that's why I have so much stuff. I showed you guys 2 of my rooms on my reveal that night. And I have, we're making lollipops, Cheryl. No, Tom, I'm not at Walmart. So you want to keep it rather tight so it doesn't bunch up. And then we're not going to cut it. We're just going to go over the edge. You're just going to keep on going. Just keep on trucking. And if it helps you to do one color at a time, and I tend to put more glue on the edges just because it's going to be, you know, not laying all in one direction. And then if it starts coming up, you maybe need to add just a dot of glue. I like my little glue gun, but I go through so many of the mini glue sticks. Name one craft you can't or don't do. I don't do needle felting. I've never tried it, don't want to. I think it's neat, and I think people are very talented that can make the little stuffed animal, or not stuffed, but tuft stuff. You know, like people's dogs that have passed, and I think that is so neat, but can't do that. So see there? I do like to do resin, but it's just so messy. Lollipop, lollipop. I used to have that, ouch, see? That 45, who sang Lollipop? I can't remember which group. Hello, Crafty Hawk Mom. I like to make these, because I do make some wreaths in the holidays. I still have quite a few for Christmas. Yep, I named one. I could probably name a few more if I thought about it. But yeah, I do a lot. And as from a business coach stand-wise, they always told me, you make too many different things, you can't. Well, I won't say I get bored, but I get complacent. I love making wreaths, and I think I'm pretty good at it. I'm not always good at other things, but that's how you get better, is to keep doing it. And that glue stays hot longer. So you can do 3 colors, it's just a little bit harder to keep everything in line. But haha, I named one. So you can do one at a time. Just follow your pattern. I didn't do it real tight in there. You can do it tighter if you want. That's it. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, my aunt had given me all her 45s. Tracy, you're not even old enough for that. I'm not barely old enough for that. But my aunt had given me all her 45s. I do have the first album that the Beach Boys ever did. Not the Beach Boys. The Beatles. Boy, that's staying hot really long. I'm going to try, for my farmhouse primitive friends, I'm going to try to come up with a lollipop for Halloween or Christmas holidays for primitive style. I know. Lollipop, lollipop. And I used to sing it in my bedroom all the time. And then, you know, you make that noise with your mouth. That was my favorite part, you know. And we had Chuck Berry records and... Oh my gosh. I can remember... Thank you, Glenda. I can remember one of the first albums I had. Because I got a record player. And it was... something to do with Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. And then my uncle, who's, I don't know, he's probably 15 years younger or older than me. He was the All-American hippie. And he liked the Who. You know, the rock. And he brought me back an album. Thanks, Brenda. I love candy corn stuff. I do some primitive candy corn, wood ones. You know, get them all grunged up. But I love candy corn. So now that we've got it all the way around the sides, we can just lay it back down. Keep this from tangling up. I used to make them in sets of 3 because when you're a wreath maker, the norm, I didn't say the rule, but the norm is to put things in sets of 3 in a triangle. Doesn't have to be a perfect triangle. It could be, you know, oblong or weird size, but you're supposed to put 3 or odd items. 3, 5, mine was usually 3. Once in a while I put a big flower on there and it was the only one. Then some people will call me out, you're supposed to use 3. And I'm like, well, I don't have 3. I turned off my air conditioner because it's a little noisy. Well, it's not noisy, it's just, you know, from running. It must be warm outside. I haven't gone outside at all today. Thank you, Cheryl. Did you see my apple pie, or no, blueberry pie I made the other day with the fabric instead of the clay? I think I almost like doing that better. I posted it today. I do like the faux food, but I'm not good at, probably if I practice some more, the getting things so nice and round and smooth. So you want to hold it taut, but not pull it too tight. I find it kind of easier to just do one color at a time. Oh, awesome, Brenda. Excuse me. I have not felt good lately, so I haven't been sleeping very well. And I got up like 7:30, and then I laid back, I sat down in the recliner about 9:30 and I fell back asleep till 11. So I feel like I haven't done anything today. So here it gets a little bit tight. I'm not sure how much I'll need, but we'll put a little extra on there. So we need the yellow to come around. Always cut off too much, but I want to make sure. We used to take the kids to the lake all the time. We have a couple of nice lakes around here that have nice playgrounds and you know, fishing spots. 2 of the big lakes have beaches. And you can trim these, like say if you get some glue on some of the yarn and it turns hard, just snip it off. After it gets good and dry, I'll kind of beat it. And then I could tell, like right here, I stuck my finger in there, needs a little bit more glue. It does get all over you. I'll just kind of feel around, make sure everything's going to stay down. So I have not got a whole lot done today. I started a cloth witch hat. I've got, hi Kelly, we're making a lollipop candy corn theme. And thank you for sprinkling. I think we're all good there. All right, these things bother me, but boy, they do protect your fingers. Okay, so now we need a stick. I use 3/16 sticks, or just two small ones. Yep. So the 3/16 dowel rods fit perfectly inside the straws. So I'm not going to use green though. I don't have orange, so we'll have to do a black. Of all the straws I have, I don't have orange. I need to buy some Halloween ones. Or you could paint the stick and then like wrap some ribbon around it. But I usually do the straw. I usually do the straws. But then we need to find. Oh, we gotta do one more step before I do that. I'm going to put some. Lost my comments. There we go. Put some of this in between, like in the ditch. If you know what sewing terms are, you sew in the ditch. But anyway, back to the hat, witch's hat. I got the muslin cut and the parts sewn that I need to. Oh, I just pulled the ball part off of my pin. So now I don't want to get jammed with. I cut my finger. Was it? Yeah, I cut my finger the other night on my rotary blade. Of course, it was really sharp. There we go. Don't need that. So this is going to be like the same thing, but we're just going to start in the middle and go around and around and put this in it. May have to do some pulling apart there because I forgot and glued it all nice together. So this part might be better. Let's turn on our detail glue gun. So I kind of want to hide that in because it's got tape on it to keep it from unwinding. So if you can spread them apart, just put a dab of glue in there. This kind of brightens it up and makes it a little bit bolder. Aww. I know, I wish I could have done that for my grandkids, but when my grandkids were born, I was working 60, 70 hours a week. So that wasn't going to fly. I never scrapbooked until the grandkids were born, the first ones. And then by number 4, I think I got tired of it. Still took pictures of the grandkids, just not like I have a lot of pictures of the first two. I mean, a lot. I'm trying to figure out, I have an Americana living room. And I want to put, I'm kind of redoing the walls. Because I had all the kids' senior pictures. The children, ouch, the children's senior pictures on the wall. Thanks, Sharon. I actually have a granddaughter that's going to be 18 in February. She makes me feel old. I have one that'll turn 18 in February, and then one that'll turn 18 in April. Oh, still not warm enough. Okay. I may look a little younger, but the body doesn't say so. So see how that kind of brightens it up? I'm trying not to shove it in there too much. It'll get better when I get my detail glue gun working. I'll be 55 this year, and we have 11 grandkids ages 4 to 17. Most of them are 11. If you know Miss Giggles, the one that's always here, she just turned 11. So most of them are 11 to 17. The most I have ever had stay with me is 6 of them. And they were all a lot younger. And it was Christmas time, and we made the cinnamon ornaments. Oh my gosh. Because I always add a little flour into mine when it's too sticky. Wow. We made such a mess. And of course, in my dining room was carpet. So it was fun, but... I'm just tacking it right now, and then when my little mini one gets warm enough, we'll go back and tack some more. Now some people will put, because this is going every other row, some people will put what they call diamond rope or bling rope in this part, but I don't have any of that. I like this. It kind of makes it stand out. And then just keep going over the side. I got this at Christmas time at Walmart. Is that Walmart? Hobby Lobby, sorry. This is Hobby Lobby. I don't think I bought anything Christmas at Walmart last year. I don't go in there very often. Dean, how are you? We're making a lollipop. I missed one. Whoop. You're 69 and he's only 6. Wow. I did enjoy. I had my daughter at 17, so I did have her young. And then the first granddaughter, my daughter had, I think she was 20 or 21. So, I mean, she didn't start early. That made me a younger grandma. Let's see if this one's hot. Oh, yes. Much better. Yes, it is. It is different between grandkids. Though I've raised 3 of my grandkids a couple different times because of my daughter's health. And the first time they were here for a year and a half. And then they were only home for 6 months. And then they come back for like a little over 2 years. So there was, I don't remember what it was now, but I always tell this story. My granddaughter had wanted something and I told her no. And at that time she was only 4. And I said, no, you can't have it. And she put her little hands on her hips and she's like, well, you always let me. And I'm like, well, you live with me now. I think it had something to do with sugar late in the evening. Because I buy them pop, and I buy them caffeine-free pop, sugar pop, you know, no sugar pop. I let them pick out what they want for breakfast. If it's donuts, it's donuts. We went to Hobby Lobby she wanted to go shopping at Hobby Lobby for her birthday. We always ask them where they want to go shopping at. And, or I'll give them an Amazon card. It's their choice. It's so hard to buy for kids these days. I hate it. I would never give them gift cards at Christmas, but now it's almost a must. I can't keep up with all of them, what they want, what they like, and who's getting what. It's just easier just to give them a card and let them order it online. Unless it's something really, really special, you know, that everybody knows I'm getting them. That's third year she's wanting to go to Hobby Lobby. Her sister used to want to go to Hobby Lobby for her birthday too, but she's getting older. She likes her crafts though. She's got Addie. People call her Miss Giggles. I don't give them a lot of stuff. You know, I don't like to sugar them up and caffeine them up and send them home. But I do probably give a little bit extra. Or if they want to make brownies, go ahead, knock yourself out. My oldest granddaughter, she started cooking when she was like, well, I have pictures of her standing on a step stool stirring the fudge at Christmas time, and I think she was 8. Now, they have babied the little one that just turned 11, but Grandma kind of gave her a revolution. She didn't even know how to use the microwave, so I taught her how to use the microwave. So now she's gotten taller. She'll get up, and if I don't, like if I'm in another part of the house and she gets up, she'll go fix herself breakfast. You know, cereal, pancakes. So there's what that looks like. That black and white really brings it out. But yes, grandkids really pull on your heartstrings. A lot. Even when they lived with me. Okay. So now, we're going to take a 3/16 dowel rod. I got them from, I think I got those from Lowe's. And then you have extra. So I don't need to stick that much. Oh, hey, Darlia. I don't need to stick that much extra up in there. I forgot this time. I will usually stick them in this pencil sharpener. Thanks, Cindy. And like point them off to a point, or I'll take a knife and do it. I'll see if I can just put my glue gun in the, melt the, oh, there we go. And put a little bit of glue in the hole. Oop. I try to stick the paper up in there a little bit too, so it won't slide around. So there's glue on this and the dowel rod, so that way it doesn't, you know, sometimes, one time I glued it and I didn't glue the dowel rod, and the dowel rod just fell right out. Which you can, I mean, these aren't like, see, it started to bend there. They're not super strong, but they're not super weak either. You're on the treadmill. Alright, so then now after that, we got to put a bow on it. And I have orange and yellow. Probably black would, because that's polka dots and that's stripes. Let's do yellow, because this is black. Oh, I'm gonna need my little lighter. See if I can singe it a little bit. Where? Ouch! See, I don't like that glue gun. All right, so we're going to, I'm not very good at making tiny bows. Good at making big bows for wreaths, but. So gross grain ribbon, you really want to like singe it real quick, just so it doesn't unfray. You don't have to burn it, just, you know, because it melts. So let's see here if I can. We're just gonna see if I can tie it. I have some numbness in my hands, so that sometimes prevents me from tying too much. I didn't leave it long enough. Okay, let's try something else. I have just tied it on a knot and let it like flow. If you don't want to like put a bow on it. We usually do multiple colors. We can put a black in there. This I just get at Walmart. It's just the Offray brand. I like the one with the little stitches in it. They have it in a lot of the different colors. All right, I'm just gonna cut you off then. You could also like glue little embellishments at the bottom, like maybe colorful bells or, you know, something like that. At Christmas time, I like to take the little mini ornaments for the mini trees and tie them around here. Now I will put a little dot of glue just so that stuff doesn't, you know, slide down. You could also use the balloon strings, you know, where we take the scissors and make it all curly. That looks really cute too. So there's our lollipop. And if you're good at tying the itty bitty bows, then you can just put a bow on there. When I give up is when I just put the little tassels on there. I think that black makes it really pop. Took me a lot longer to make that than I thought, but. And if you wanted to, you could go back and put the black and white in the other ditches. I think it's enough to make it pop. Let's see here. Thank you, Brenda. So for those who hopped in late, so this disc from Dollar Tree, the package of 2, is what this is made with. So your disc is like, I think they're like 5 inches. Yep, the disc is 5, and then our lollipop ends up being about 6.5 by the time we get our yarn. Now you can use regular yarn on it. It just will have, you'll have a lot go around and round and round. There is some, like, I made one year for Christmas, the velvet yarn. It's not as thin as just regular weighted yarn, but it's not big like this. But it made a really pretty lollipop, and I just put silver. I have some silver and gold of like the black and white twisted thread or whatever. And I was thinking about making my own. I don't know if I could, what I could find to do the twisted. Just put it in your drill and then hit your drill and it twists it all up. That's what I do for wire. If my wire is not thick enough, I cut off some, I put 2 ends in the drill, and then someone stands at the other end and just holds it, like on a pencil or something, and it gets real tight. So that started as this, and then we used our Becozi, Becozi yarn. They have a website and they have an Etsy. This is how I keep my yarn on a piece of cardboard. I love cardboard. I keep all my cardboard until I can't stand it anymore. Because I keep, what else do I keep on cardboard? Little pieces of lace or homespun little strips. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna make a primitive farmhouse style lollipop, because it's gotta happen. I just gotta figure it out. I might have to make, oh, you can, has anybody covered like clothesline rope? It's tedious. It is very tedious. You have to wrap your, so like say this is your clothesline, you have a thin strip of fabric and you wrap it as you're sewing it together. You sew zigzags. It's kind of like the jelly roll rugs, but they do it with clothesline, and it's not a rug. They usually make it a bowl. That I have not tried, but there's another one, Carol. I have not tried making a bowl out of rope, but I will try. I'm going to try that at some point. I'm working on setting up my sewing machine in a better spot so I can go live and do sewing projects. I think that would be neat. Right now it's not really light enough. I got to get the lighting a little bit different over there, but that's something I want to do. See if I have any questions about the lollipop. Now that just made me think of not the song Lollipop, but the Wizard of Oz, the Munchkins. Hi Connie, hi Candace. Well, I hope everybody's having a good week. You know, it's hump day. Don't forget that your federal offices and banks are probably closed tomorrow for Juneteenth Day. Some people forget about that one. And don't forget to join Craft Around the Clock if you're not part of it. Grandkids are lovely until they start pushing your buttons. Tell you what, some of these kids these days, when my granddaughter lived with me and a couple friends came over, and I'm like, we're not acting like that here. This is not the environment I want my granddaughter in. Even though they act like that at school, but not in my house. I told a boy one night, I want a foot of difference between you and my granddaughter, and keep your lips to yourself. I don't care if she was 16. My house, my rules. Don't like it, leave. But thanks for coming out and hanging out with me. I don't know if I'm live tomorrow, because I've just been picking up times in Craft Around the Clock this week when somebody's had to cancel or there was an extra opening. So, yes. So, because I don't want to be a great grandma. And then I will be live on Friday for our Fun Friday. They do that, don't they, Sharon? All right, guys, stick around for the next creator, and I hope you guys have a rest of your good week, and I will at least see you Friday, if not tomorrow. Good night, guys.